I'm very small. Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday Show. Hello, and how are you? Thank you very much indeed for tuning in. Got a busy show today. We have two guests. The first who I'm going to bring on in just a couple of moments. Going to be talking about some really interesting things today: anti-anxiety and how to find out if people are manipulating you, which is interesting. I really want to drill down on this. So a bit of a psychology flavor today, and very much looking forward to getting into it. I'm just going to make a very quick banner because I do all my own production for this lovely lady, and I'm just going to do that now. In fact, no, let's bring her on. Let's bring her on. Julia Summer. Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you so much for being on the show. Counsellor and author of Game Over. Give us your website quickly so I can pop it on the screen.
It's www.haventherapy.co.uk.
Haven Therapy.
Yeah.
Has that got anything to do with havening?
No.
No? Okay,
It's
interesting.
a little sanctuary to come and see me.
Yeah. Well, it's haven in that sense. Yeah, there's a therapy called havening, which is that's why I just wondered. And whereabouts are you based?
I'm based in Wilmslow in Cheshire, so south of Manchester.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on. What is it you do? Tell us about you, Julia.
Okay, so I'm a counsellor, a trainer, a supervisor of other counsellors, and I'm the author of Game Over. Game Over is being published on the 10th of July, and it is about uncovering the secrets of unhealthy relationship behaviours and manipulation. And my specialist area is working with clients that are affected by toxic and unhealthy relationships.
I mean, of course, that's so uncommon, right? I mean, there's no manipulation that ever goes on in any relationship ever.
Absolutely.
Obviously, said with tongue firmly in cheek, it goes on all the time, doesn't it? And we seem to hear an awful lot more about it now. The words I've heard an awful lot of more recently. Manipulation, I've known that word for years. I read a book once. It was about emotional manipulators, and it said they used FOG. Fear, obligation, and guilt. It was an acronym. I'm sure you're familiar with that, just for the benefit of those listening. And the one that's really going around at the moment seems to be narcissistic abuse. That one.
Yes.
Yeah. And having known a couple of people in my life who have that trait, I know it can be really difficult to be around. So can we drill down into this? Because I think this could really help a lot of people.
Okay.
Is that all right if I just fire a load of questions at you? And why did you get into this, first of all? I think you said to me earlier you noticed a pattern in your therapy room and it led you down a bit of a rabbit hole. How did this all come about, first of all?
So I started counselling about 15 years ago, and I've had my private practice for 10 years now. And over that time, I've worked with loads and loads of different people, individuals and with couples. And it is really interesting because there's a lot of patterns in manipulation in the way that people use tactics and techniques with each other. And it's interesting because for years I kept saying to my clients, it's like they go to a school for this kind of thing. And it was kind of a bit tongue in cheek, but I kept hearing the same things over and over again.
Well, no, I know what you mean, because I've read stuff about this and it's like they've all swallowed the same pill. It's like it's like they all know how to do it. And I don't know where it comes from. It's almost like there's a sort of narcissism pill that people swallow, and it is the same pattern, but you have to know what you're looking for, because it can be very sneaky, can't it? Sorry, I interrupted. You carry on.
No, you're absolutely right. It's been around for years, and it started kind of back in the 1970s, and probably further back than that, but with the pickup artist industry, and books being released in the 80s, sort of, how to sleep with a girl and things like that. And then that developed into the 80s and 90s. We started getting pickup artists.
Ross Jeffries. What was his name? I've seen his work. When I've seen how he does it, it looks too easy and it looks creepy to me. He's just basically NLP anchoring. And I think if it was that easy, I do. When I've studied NLP, so I can talk with the lingo, but I don't know. I've seen the books how to NLP someone into bed, but I mean, come on, you know.
Yeah. So and then you've got the likes of like Neil Strauss, who had a book called
That's
The
who I was
Game.
trying to think of. The Game. That was it.
Yeah. And this was all about like all these guys going out and using all these techniques that were actually working on women, and then they started doing like camps and coaching and selling this thing and started making it into a business. And then obviously with the internet, it's just grown. But I look at the manosphere as like this collection of this modern day version of the pickup artist industry that's led into the red pill movement, and has also got the incel movement included. And the basis of it all is power and control. That's the whole thing that sits at the bottom of all of this stuff, the foundation of it all.
And that's not a good foundation for a relationship, is it? Power and control. I mean, unless it's someone's kink, which case that's consensual and that's different. But in a general relationship, I wouldn't say that's going to work very well.
No, but what we've got to realize is that like power is in every single relationship. Every single interaction we have with anybody has got a power dynamic flowing in it. And as long as that power passes between the two of us, that's fine. And if that's equal and balanced, and sometimes one person might be slightly more powerful than the other, but if it is reciprocated, then that's okay. The problem is when one person is trying to dominate that. And that's where we come.
And the difference is very, very clear to me, because I wouldn't want to be in control. I've got no interest in controlling anybody at all. And by equal measure, I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to manipulate people. I don't want to be manipulated. Yeah. And you can feel it. You can feel it when people are doing it to you. I can. Yeah. It's just got this horrible sort of energy to it, without sounding too new age, but it really does, and I can feel it. But you're right, equal power dynamics, that's shared power, and that's a great thing. That's great, and that's the healthy version of it. But that's not what we're talking about here, is it?
It's not, no. And for you saying, you can feel it and it doesn't feel okay, for some people, someone having power over them feels really normal and natural. So if you've grown up with really dominating caregivers, for instance, and very authoritarian, you'll be used to having a power imbalance all the time. So you'll be used to being here and other people are here. And that's normal, yeah? So you'll have somebody, I think you mentioned earlier on a message to me about empaths being attracted to narcissists. And
yes, or the other way around, narcissists being attracted to empaths, but yes, I did.
Yeah, so you'll have people that empaths that are kind of more giving and used to having a lower power, and you have people who are kind of with maybe narcissistic traits or selfish traits that are used to taking power and having power and feeling entitled to power. So when we meet people, it's not that it feels like there's an attraction to each other. It's not necessarily the case. It's conditioning. We have been conditioned to be in this lower position with this higher person. So for some people, when they meet powerful people, that feels very natural. That feels okay. And for other people like yourself, when you meet people like that, it's like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I respect judicious power. Judicious authority. I don't necessarily mean the legal system, but there could be a very powerful manager of a company. I've worked in the corporate world, and there was some very powerful people there, and there were two actually, both with the same name, same first name, and one was absolutely power crazed monster, or could be, and the other one was equally as powerful, but he knew the name of the boy in the post room.
Yeah,
and that's two different kinds of power.
Yeah,
and obviously, so how do we? I'm going to say protect ourselves. How do we move through life, making sure we don't get into these sorts of situations? Because I think the question I framed to you earlier on was, and I'm sure this applies to a lot of our listeners, most of us want to be decent people. Most of us want to be good people. Most of us don't want it to be all about us. It should be about, you could argue self-care first and then give to other people. You can't, we're all responsible for caring for ourselves. And then, or giving from a space of overflow, I should say, is the optimal way of doing it. You can't give from an empty cup, blah, blah, blah. Put your own oxygen mask on first, all that. But what happens when people mistake that for weakness and then try to kind of get their little hooks in and start to take from you in a way that shouldn't be happening? How do we protect ourselves or be aware of that kind of behavior?
So the first thing is to be aware that the power dynamic is in every relationship. That's the very first thing. So if you've been brought up in that environment where you're kind of on the lower rung and someone else is on the higher rung, you're not someone who would naturally play games with people. So to be kind of naturally aware of power imbalances and things, you won't probably be approaching the world like that. But somebody who is used to having power would probably be more used to that and would be looking out for it. So when they meet people, they'll be testing you to see how you respond and how pliable you are to it. So how to protect yourself is being aware that not everybody approaches relationships in the same way. Not everybody wants to be in a relationship that is loving and equal and balanced. Some people want to be in a relationship where they can dominate and have power and get something from you. And we have to be aware that some people use manipulation tactics and techniques in order to do that, which may sound very, very convincing.
Can you tell us what some of those without giving away the farm? Because I would love a copy of this book, please. But can you give us a hint of some of the techniques that these people might use?
Yeah, I mean, there's surprisingly a lot of them. So there's over 60 techniques and tactics in the book that people use.
It must be exhausting. I mean, how does anyone keep up that level of energy?
I know. Well, they don't use all of them. Some people will have tried and tested ones that they've used before, and they know with certain type of people, this will work on them. So some of them will be using certain ones and other people will be using different ones, and they might swap as well, which makes it quite difficult. They might use certain tactics 1 minute, be very, very cold and degrading to you 1 minute and then very loving and kind to you the next, and you don't know where you stand, which is kind of hot and cold behavior. If you meet somebody for the first time, there could be a whole ream of manipulation tactics used in the very first meeting. For instance, you meet somebody in a bar, they might be using what we call peacocking techniques, which is
I know, I've heard about peacocking. Neil Strauss.
What do you know about it?
Peacocking, it comes from the term, peacock, obviously, and it's about the male peacock showing his feathers. I would back in the 80s, we'd have called it being a poser. I have another word for it. I have another word for it now, which I can't use. Actually, I can. We can swear, by the way. We're not Ofcom related. A bit of a plonker, putting it because I see certain men do it, and to me, it just looks funny.
Yeah.
The big ego that really hasn't got a clue. Liken it to the DJ world, all the gear but no idea.
Yeah, they might be wearing outrageous clothing or something a little bit random, or they might say something really random, and it's to catch attention. It's just to basically catch your attention, that's all. And then when they've hooked you in, they might use mirroring techniques with you, which is mirroring your body language.
I know about this because I studied NLP, and the first thing I thought is, and for anyone listening, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, it's basically, have you done NLP? You almost definitely have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm a practitioner of NLP, and so mirroring people's body language or their voice patterns or even their breathing, and used in integrity, either to gain rapport with someone or indeed to help someone. It's a wonderful and powerful set of techniques. Darren Brown uses it all the time. However, used to manipulate people, and it can be used to manipulate people very, very easily. I could have used it to manipulate. I didn't, because I just that's not how I do things, but you could have. Mirroring and matching. So they get a rapport with you, and then
Yeah, so part of the mirroring can be mirroring your body language and things, but also like asking questions about like what you like, and I like that too, and I've done that too. And
Love
so
bombing. That's love bombing.
yeah, we're going into love bombing now. So love bombing would be about you are one of the most beautiful people in here. I can't believe how gorgeous you are compared to everybody else. What you're doing in a place like this, you're very attractive. You're very intelligent. So it's really, being very complimentary and over the top with that.
But
It
all of
might
these
be.
things can be. There is a healthy side to all these things as well. It
There is,
depends how.
yes.
It depends on the intention, isn't it? I'm not trying to counter what you're saying. I absolutely know that people do this, but,
Yeah.
there is a healthy side too. I tell my female friends that they're beautiful, and I'm not. They're friends. I'm
You're
not
not
trying
love bombing them.
not love bombing them. No. Well. Yeah, I tell my female friends they're beautiful. I see nothing wrong in that, but I'm not trying to get anything from them.
Yeah. And that's the difference, because when you're somebody that is using manipulation techniques and tools, the whole point of it is to get something. You're trying to get supply off the person. You're trying to get something you want, whether that is, sex, money, attention, whatever. There is something that they want to get from you. So yeah, love bombing is another thing. They might do something called negging, which is like a backhanded insult, compliment. You're really pretty for someone who has a big nose, that kind of thing, where you sat there like, oh, okay.
I've read the game. I've read Neil Strauss, The Game, and I remember thinking it was an entertaining read of the adventures he had. But did you see his other book, The Truth? That's when it all collapsed.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that book?
I've not worked on that book with regards to this, no. So do you want to tell me a little bit about
it was a follow-up. It was a follow-up to The Game. The Game was like it's like the rise and fall. The Game was the rise, and then big fall, and it was like, whoa, almost a come to Jesus moment. It's real. His world collapsed quite significantly, and he was somewhat humbled, shall we say.
Yeah. So they covered that. I don't know if you saw, there was a documentary about it, and they saw how like the flip side, how it all went wrong for them all, and how actually they realised like how damaging it had been personally for them when they'd realised the level of manipulation that they'd used on people, and how actually that hurt.
Because I have heard it said in certainly in some spiritual circles that what you do to others, you actually do to yourself. Yeah. So if you're going to manipulate people at some level, you're manipulating yourself. You're not being honest with yourself.
Yeah. You can't expect to be loved unconditionally when you're behaving in a conditional way. You need to be yourself, and all this stuff is covering up who you are, and the root of that is shame. If somebody is happy and content within their own skin, they don't need to do any of this stuff.
I agree. I mean, I've had the same theory about sexual crime. Men that commit crimes like that. I think it's a power. It's not really about sex. It's about power, or more accurately, a lack of power. Because happy, balanced men have no need to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is simply no. It's almost like rising in the level of consciousness. That behavior becomes irrelevant, unnecessary, obsolete.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly on the same page here. This is brilliant. We're getting some interesting comments here. I want to hear about. So I'll just do some comments, then we come back to it. So we've had negging, love bombing, mirroring.
Peacocking. Yeah.
But peacocking, yeah.
Yeah.
That always makes me smile, that one, because it's just when you see people do it and you know what they're doing, and I always sort of smile inside to myself and think, oh, actually, that's really funny, and you don't know it. We've had this. Ian and Surbiton lived under a narcissistic woman. He says, afternoon rather. The narcissist we knew tried various tactics, ended up wanting all our own way. Things had to be done yesterday. I assume that means if it suited her. My Chinese dragon lady stopped her. I'm not quite sure what that means. I can guess. Greetings, one and all, says Dave. The psychology behind manipulation is always a self-harming display. Yeah. Tell us more, Julia.
Sorry, just say that again.
I said the psychology behind manipulation is always a self-harming display.
Yeah, it is.
And then I said, tell us more about these techniques that people do.
Yeah, so yeah, it's all about shame that they're covering up. So they're putting on a mask and they're doing these things, and all these tactics and techniques are a game and a display of something in order to cover up and to then get what they want because they can't be themselves. And this is
So
how
they
we,
think they can't get. So they think they're not good enough,
yeah,
which is what breeds the shame.
yeah,
So all of this is big ego puffery to try and hide that,
yeah.
so they can then get what they want, right?
Yeah, as opposed to like starting a conversation with somebody and actually getting to know them and developing a, a, a kind and empathic relationship with consensual behaviours in, it's a quick win to get what you want, some supply of something for an ego boost or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. But it's all about, feeding yourself, and it's nothing to do with the other person. But if we start to approach this as like a game and we see it as like a game, which is what they're playing, we can step back and take it less personally when it happens to us. And I'm not going to discount like the abuse that people experience because it's absolutely horrendous and it gets to, really extreme situations. But when we meet somebody initially, if we're aware of this power and these games that are being played, we can step out of it a lot quicker before it gets really, really bad.
So what sort of red flags should people watch for?
So in the book, like I say, I've got the 60 techniques and tactics. So if you become familiar with them, then you'll know that that's happening. I would say that the biggest tell for you is these are all like, a lot of these are like micro moments. They're not huge things. They're not always obviously abuse, like you said earlier. Being nice and saying things to your friends is not love bombing. It's being nice. But when you add all these things up together, what you can see is a shift in the balance of power between you and the other person. Like, do you censor yourself? Have you stopped saying things? Have you become a bit quieter? Do you go along with what everything that they want to do? Do you say yes when actually you mean to say no? And when you step back and look at the bigger picture of all these behaviors together, you'll see that there's a shift that's happened, and you'll see you're getting more isolated from your friends, you're detaching from the things that you love, your world is becoming smaller. When you're in a healthy relationship, that does not happen. Your world should
Your
get
world should
bigger.
become bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, your world should become bigger. I mean, two people that love each other, bring out the best in each other. I mean, I can't see the joy in wanting to control someone and be possessive about it. I mean, nobody owns anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I love my daughter more than anyone in the world, but I don't own her. She has her own will, her own body and mind. It's not mine.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I suppose we could all do with an ego boost at times, but I suppose it's at what cost?
You can get an ego boost by being kind and loving in a really nice, gentle way. You don't have to have power and control over somebody, and that isn't kind, and that isn't really going to feed your soul either and make you feel like a great person. But there have been studies done. There's a really interesting study by Chuck Derry, who worked with offenders, and he asked the question, like, why do you do it? What do you get out of this? And they all had a reason. I can get what I want. I don't have to work. She does all the jobs. I get sex on demand. There was a benefit to it all. So yes, somebody can be sat in front of their partner, crying their eyes out and begging them to stop, but that other person, their needs feel more important, and they're going to override that and continue doing. Whilst they can still manipulate you and get what they want from you, they will still keep doing that and running from the shame and all those things.
Because narcissists are wounded very deep down, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I read it's a real deep wound.
Yeah.
Which again, to the compassionate side of me would say, well, you should be there for them, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. There is a time to walk away.
Isn't it?
Say again, I'm sorry.
It's a mask. It's a mask of who they are. They're behaving in a certain way because they can't be themselves. You can have moments, what we call narcissistic collapse, where, you know, they've run out of supply from everybody, and they maybe have, you know, a complete breakdown of self in that moment, and they feel terrible, and they like, you know, I've been a terrible person, I've done all these awful things. And the minute people start gathering round and go, oh, you're okay, they reintegrate and start doing it again. Of the people that have been diagnosed under the DSM-5 for narcissistic personality disorder, which in itself does have some question marks over, I will say, but the people who have been diagnosed on it, nobody's actually been cured.
Really? Because a narcissist will never ever turn around and say, I'm the problem here.
No, I mean, they might do to test you.
But never in a come to Jesus moment. I don't mean that in a religious way, but you catch the metaphor. In a moment of self-honesty, they're never going to go, actually, I'm the problem here and I need to sort myself out.
Yeah.
They don't. They just don't.
They will often
so best way to deal with, just walk away.
The thing is with these relationships, look, you can't tell somebody to leave them. People are in them for a reason. We get something out of being in a relationship with somebody, whether that's because we've got children with them, whether we feel stuck financially, whatever it is. And so we do get trapped in them. But what we've got to start looking at, if you first start looking at the behaviors and then start seeing how healthy or unhealthy it is, then you start to see the truth of what's going on. And then you need to really focus on, like, not is what's wrong with him, how do I fix them, or how do I fix her, like, how can we make this better? It's stopping and going, look, this is not healthy for me, this is having an effect on me, and I can't live like this anymore. So hopefully what people find when they read my book is that they can learn what's going on, they can understand the power imbalance, they can get used to what's going on, why it's happening, and then they can emotionally detach and learn to step away from it.
Yeah, and if necessary, leave.
Yeah, and live a happy life.
Well, absolutely, because relationships like that are never ever going to have a happy ending, are they?
No. You know, and I've worked with clients who've been in them for 30 years before they've got out, you know, and they're constantly thinking it's going to get better one day or something will change, and it doesn't. They spend years and years.
Sobering thought. When is your book released? Congratulations on it, by the way. Tell us again when it's released.
The 10th of July.
10th of July. Available from all good bookstores like Amazon and everywhere.
Yeah, hopefully. It's definitely going to be on Amazon. So, yeah. And then it'll be coming out as a Audible a few months later. Yeah.
Okay. And if people want to get in touch with you, because this is really important work, because essentially you're helping people to be happy, and not wrong with that. Where can people get in touch with you? We did a banner, didn't we? Actually, hold on. There we go. Haventherapy.co.uk. Yeah,
or you can find me on social media on Julia Summers.
Julia Summers. Summers
with an S. Yeah.
Summers with an S. Okay. Julia, it's been absolutely lovely to connect with you this morning. Thank you so much for being on the Midday Show. I will send you this footage later if you want to use it for any shameless marketing purposes. Go right ahead. Good luck with the book. Good luck with your work. And when it's released, I'll tell you what we could do, if you like. If you'd like to come back on the Midday Show, maybe just a couple of days before it's released, and do sort of a mini Midday Show book launch. If you'd like to use this platform for that, you'd be really welcome to.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. Thank you. It's been really nice to speak to you as well.
Yeah, likewise. Take care and all the very best.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Good afternoon. What a lovely lady. What a lovely lady. Yeah, it's never going to end well, relationships like that, is there? And people do. We think it's all think it's going to get better. You think it's going to get better. It doesn't. And that's the thing. So it's kind of on us, isn't it, to make the change. I can hear myself really echoing. Hello, Laura.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
But what have you done with your microphone? I can hear my microphone echoing right. Have you got a sound up or something like that?
No, just on my laptop.
How bizarre.
I can hear you really clearly.
That is very, very strange. never done this before. Would you mind if I quickly remove you? And would you click the link to come back in and see if that works?
Sure.
Is that all right? Thank you. Just going to remove you quickly there because, dear listeners, can you hear that echo coming back, or is that just me? Ian in Surbiton, could you hear anything? You would make a very good counsellor, Neil. I think you would be good at it. I have done a little bit of NLP with people in the past, actually, and thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. Yeah. Ian in Surbiton says, "I have the strength, wife the brains. It works." Well, that's collaboration. That's what they call interdependency, rather than dependence. The kind of relationship. Oh, this is so weird. I've got this.
Now I can hear you echoing.
I'm not
Should we try third
entirely
time?
sure. Yeah, Ian can hear it as well, so it is being broadcast.
All right, I'll leave.
Have you got a mic? Not Laura, I'm so sorry. But I won't be able to do this like this. Hang on a minute. Gavin says volume's too loud on your laptop. Is the volume turned up on your laptop?
How about that?
That's better.
But then I can't hear you. I can't hear you if you ask me any questions.
Do you have headphones?
I do have headphones, but I have to go and. Oh no, I think I might have them here.
I'll take you off for a moment. That's the problem. There you go. Well, thank you, Gavin. I wanted some feedback on the show. Hey, thank you very much. I'm here all day. That was actually too simple. I didn't think it could be that. But yeah, that obviously will happen. Always, when people come on the radio on Radio Jackie, I always say, can you make sure your headphones, your radio is either off or right down. Otherwise, we get feedback, or howl around. It's called as well. Someone once said, "Be careful, or you'll get howl around." And I promise you, that person replied, "Who's howl?" And that's not a joke. Oh no, it's not. But it's okay now, right, Ian? Let's give it another go. Hello, Laura.
I'm just getting echoing and but echoing.
Oh, bum.
Oh no, actually, yeah, a really echoey. This is such a shame.
It is. I really want to get you on. We will get you on at some point. I tell you what. Let's try one more thing. I'm gonna take you out once more. Would you mind rebooting? Sometimes a reboot can cover a multitude of sins, and I don't need to finish at 1 on the dot, so we can do half an hour. But let's try once more. If not, we get you booked in for another time. Is that all right?
Okay.
Right. Julie, as much as we love you, Neil, we don't need to hear you twice. All right, cheeky. Thank you very much indeed. I love you too, Julie. Sounds good here. So just battle through. It does, but Laura was getting echo back and back again. So yeah, we did need to. She's doing a little reboot at the moment. What do you think of the first guest? I think we've all met people like that. I don't mean our guests, but people like that in time. And I think we do kid ourselves. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. And sometimes it just doesn't. And it's a real problem. I was scared that I was a narcissist once. I took an online test to see what my narcissism score was. I mean, I work in an industry apparently full of them, so I thought, am I a narcissist? Let's do the test, because I think it's a good thing to be. And I'm not. By the way, my score was slightly high, but not in the narcissistic range. But I think that you can understand the need to have an ego, which you do need in this business, and there's nothing too wrong with that. Should we say a healthy ego? But just and do I like being the center of attention? Yeah, if I'm doing stand-up, I absolutely love it. But I'm happy to come off stage and then schmooze and network and talk to people and just be normal, if you know what I mean. I don't need rose petals thrown in front of me. And if people say, "Oh, that was really good," thank you, I appreciate that. If people enjoy me being a DJ or a presenter, thank you, I appreciate that. I enjoy these things that you do, but I don't need to be constantly reminded to feel good about myself, or peacocking, as our last guest said. Let's try now. Hello, Laura.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
That's great. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. That was me. That wasn't an echo. We did it. I think actually we've got a
Yeah.
slight delay. We've got a slight delay as well. So I'll
Well,
just
I am very, very far away.
Where are you?
I am, hold on, let me just switch the Wi-Fi.
You look like you're in a giant honeycomb.
Hey, I'm back.
Where you look like
Hello?
you're in a giant honeycomb. Where are you?
I'm in Kenya at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? Do you live there?
It's it's a very long story. I'll keep it short. So basically, my son, I'm from London. I'm a Londoner, and my son grew up, 18, left home, started working already. So an empty nester, and I was trying to relocate to Scotland. So I put all my stuff into store. I was trying to buy a place. The sale fell through. I put all my stuff into storage, and I thought, well, I'm free. So because I teach online, I teach yoga and meditation online, I can take this and I'll just try this kind of digital nomad life. And here I am in Kenya.
Why Kenya?
Because I've got yoga students all over the world. And so I had this one yoga student who kept saying, she'd been saying to me like for a couple of years, come, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And it is. And I came, and it's always nice to know one person. Do you know what I mean? So she helped me find this beautiful house that I live in. So yeah, I'm just here for a couple of months.
How
I'm
absolutely.
I'm going to take a swim in the sea. It's so hot. After I've spoken to you, I'm going straight down the beach.
What temperature? Go on, make us sick now. It's the warmest day of the year here. So
No,
we're on about 17 degrees, I think, at best.
It's the humidity. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just glowing, I'm really sweating.
Oh, you're glowing, my dear. You're glowing beautifully.
So glowing. Yeah, no, it's really, really hot. Like devil's armpit hot. It's the hottest country I've ever been to. Yeah.
Really? What, 40 degrees, something like that?
No, oh God, no. Like late 20s, the early 30s, but it's just the humidity is very high.
Humidity. Oh, right. Okay.
It's just about to be the rainy season. Yeah, so the humidity is really
yeah, it would be. Well, what an interesting person you are already. So tell us about what is Kiranjot? Is that your yoga name?
That is my spiritual name. Yeah, it means ray of sunshine.
Lovely.
Yeah, Kiran is ray from the sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jot is to hold. So I've been doing yoga for about 11 years.
You hold the light. You hold the light for people.
Hold the light. Yeah, I hold the sunlight for people. Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about your work, about yoga and meditation. How did you get in this whole spiritual field?
Well, to be perfectly frank, I was really depressed. I was really struggling with my mental health in my 20s. And I wasn't the most healthy at that time either, which is obviously a bit of a contributing factor. But I had a lot of issues from my childhood, and combined with quite heavy drug use at the time, because that's what we all did back then, back in the day.
If we're feeling shit, I can understand why people do it. I always say good intention, poor strategy. The intention's good, to feel better, to numb the pain. Who wouldn't want to do that? You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's all about not feeling things that we don't want to feel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's dissociation. But you just can't hide. It's gonna come and find you somehow. And I'm just so grateful. And that was all. It was 22 years ago. I'm 51 now. I was in my late 20s then. And it was in that time when like everything that was going on was printed out on like a piece of paper. And so I sort of kind of woke up and I was looking for help. I knew like I couldn't carry on like this way. I really was like done living like this.
Yeah.
And so fortunately, thank God, because yoga is a lifesaver. It really is a lifesaver. That's what I want to tell people. If you're in feeling really desperate, then try yoga, please, please. Give it a whirl. It is life-changing. And I haven't looked back.
How? Why?
How and why? I think I spent 22 years trying to figure it out. I think they say, you know, the body keeps the score. So
Gabor Mate. I'm familiar with it. Is it Gabor Mate?
Yeah. No, it's
no, it's not. He's in that field, isn't he?
Vanderbilt. Somebody.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, similar field. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, very, very beautiful book. But you know, at that point, if I just be so frank with you, I was so stoned, I couldn't even talk. Like, I couldn't express the pain that was inside me in words. I was numb. I was so numb. But when you move your body, like, I felt like I didn't need to talk. I didn't need to explain myself. I didn't need to rehash the problems. I moved my body in a very specific, very mindful way, with the breath, with mantra, with sound, and that it's healing. What yoga does is it works the nervous system. Yeah. So if you're on
I seem to be reading an awful lot online at the moment about a regulated nervous system, and there's all the personal development, and it doesn't matter what field you're in, be it NLP, yoga, meditation, CBT, havening, whatever, but it all has to have a place. It has to have a stable, like a helicopter needs a flat surface to receive it. It has to come from a balanced nervous system, and that seems to be the
thing. Tension in the body was musculature. Now all the science is realizing actually the tension is your nervous system, and that comes from the brain. It comes from the mind. So everybody says to me, "Oh, I can't do yoga, or I'm not flexible enough, oh, I can't touch my toes." Oh, it's so not about that. It's about sorting. It's really about sorting your mind out. That's what it does. You move your body to affect your mind, and that allows you a deep connection to your soul.
Yeah, which is always there. It's not like your source, soul, higher self, whatever term we use, connection has run away from you. It didn't move, we did, or we blocked it.
Absolutely. We forget in the whole kind of list of life, and I've got to do this and I've got to do that, and I've got to pay the bill, and so needs me. We forget that we're sentient beings with a soul. And what yoga does, I always say yoga is a physical, spiritual practice.
Well, it comes from the word yoke, doesn't it? Meaning like you would yoke an ox, and it means to unite body and mind, to yoke, right?
Body, mind, and soul, like that.
The trilogy,
Exactly. And
how quickly was it before? Sorry, after you.
Oh no, sorry. You asked me a question. It's fine. Sorry, I can yak on.
How quickly did you start to see benefits?
Oh, straight away, immediately. Like my first class, I was like, somebody switched the lights on. Yeah. It was like I'd been in the dark and somebody suddenly threw the lights on, and I was like, wow, this is it. This is what is going to sort me out. And so I kept going, and here I am, 22 years later.
And then when you started to feel sorted out, did the bad habits kind of fall away by themselves without you having to fight them too hard?
Exactly. It just makes it so much easier. If you want to make change in your life, like a regular yoga practice will make those changes. Like healthy habits, you just don't want to eat the crappy carbs and or drink loads, or watch whatever it is that you like watching. Do you know what I mean? You fall out of habits much easier. Yeah.
Because those habits are probably covering up something.
Oh, massively. Yeah,
if you've got a drink or drug or porn or work, for that matter, it's all addictive. I think would I be right to say all addictive behaviour is to stop us feeling feelings we don't want to feel?
I'd say so. I think a lot of people spend too long avoiding uncomfortable emotions. Whereas actually what we do in yoga is we go through them, because on the other side, you process them through the body, through yoga. And then on the other side of that is joy and a deeper connection to love.
And that's internal. That comes from us. So we don't need to get love from somebody else as such.
Yeah, it's internal, but it starts to affect your external world, because you change yourself inside, and then it starts to affect what, your environment and the people in your environment. Yeah.
Or the mirror of your environment, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. However you want to look at it. Yeah. I see it like I've been teaching like nearly 18 years. I've taught
This is
thousands.
intriguing. I mean, I can almost feel your authenticity coming through the screen. I honestly,
I'm real. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it or gloss it.
No, and I'm not just saying that to blow smoke. It's clear to me and everyone listening and watching that you walk your talk. It literally, I can almost feel it through the screen. I really, really can. And I'm a long way away.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think I had very debilitating depression.
Yes.
And I hated that. I think that's, waking up in the morning and looking up at the ceiling and just thinking, oh no, not again.
I've had depression. I've been there. It's horrible. It's absolutely
awful.
horrible.
It drains colour out of your life.
Yes.
And how long are we here for? I want to live a full life. That's why I'm away. That's why I'm traveling. I'm just getting as much juice out of life as possible. Now I wake up, it doesn't even cross my mind. Just up I get on with my day. I don't have to overcome my own negativity. So yeah, I do protect that. I do the right things to keep myself, like you said, that helicopter thing, nice and stable, steady. Yeah, for
and
sure.
What practices? Any other practices apart from yoga that you do and meditation?
Yeah, I mean, I keep myself fit.
Yes.
What have I got with me? I've got this is really good if you're traveling, like a resistance band. So yeah, I definitely keep myself fit. Moving your body is key, really key. Obviously I'm lucky I'm somewhere, with easy access to swimming, being outside, being in nature.
Well, sea is fairly easy access, yes. You got a whole ocean. I'm only jealous.
I went looking for elephants on Sunday. That was really good too.
Did you find any?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I even was like, I like to do things that always test my bravery, and I'm scared of cows. Yeah, there's not many things I'm that scared of, but I am I'm very scared of cows. So we spotted
cows or bulls or anything bovine.
Cows, yeah, just big. They're really big, and they look at you.
Cows, not bulls then.
No, cows and bulls, especially bulls. Oh my god!
Oh, I was going to say, yeah. Okay, go on then.
But yeah, so we finally spotted the elephants, and we had a guide with us. So he got out the car and he was like, "Come with me." So that was a big deal for me to get out the car and go. Like we ran through the bush, and then I had this massive, great big white T-shirt. So the elephants straight away like turned around and were like, "Ooh," like that. And then we stood there for about 30 seconds, and the guy went, "Come on, let's go." We had to leg it back to the car. But yeah, just I like to do things that make me happy, and it
sounds like you're living a life of freedom. It sounds like you're free to follow what makes you happy, to feel what follows. So the only discipline, because that's got quite a negative connotation, that word, but it shouldn't have in all cases. The only discipline is to keep yourself balanced, so you're a good vessel, a good receiver.
Yeah, and I've also had hellish times as well. Like last year was tough. Last year, really tough. And I was a single mum on a low income, renting in London. But I was very dedicated, obviously, to raising my son, and really, really hard. And that was dull and drudgery, and there was no looking for elephants then. I wasn't looking for elephants then.
No.
But I decided to gift myself the gift of travel because I could. And yeah, people do spend a lot of time saying, "Oh, you're brave." But I think what I am is more scared of being small. And so that's what I seem to do with people. I help people kind of break out of the limited, this invisible prison that so many people live in.
What if people feel that they're just at the end of their tether, maybe in a situation not dissimilar to yours, on low income, no sort of visible way out, or so, unless they win the lottery or something like that, and they just feel at the end of it and so worn down by it? What would you say to them?
Oh, bless you. There is a way through. Like, I was always told like creativity is the answer. There's a solution for everything. Just like what happens, I feel, is when we're really anxious and fearful, we lose connection to our intuition.
Yeah.
And what we need to do is, again, calm down, because there is a way. We always say there's a way through every block. Yeah. Calm yourself down.
Parasympathetic nervous system and all that.
Yeah. And the answers, for me, the way I've lived my life, the answers are revealed to you. Like, sometimes it's like you go looking in a panic, but actually when you stop and still and quiet, that's when I have the best ideas. They kind of appear out of nowhere,
Einstein, there's a brilliant teacher, I attend his calls online, he calls that downloads. Almost like a big packet of data which you unpick, and then he'll create a new online course out of it. And well, no, he does. Why not? But he says it's from source, is the word he uses. Call it God, universe, source energy, higher self, soul. It doesn't matter what you call it. And I don't mean the old school belief of a judgmental bloke on a cloud. I don't mean that at all. I'm talking about an all-embracing consciousness of everything, oneness. That. And it's unlimited. So if we felt connected to that, what would there be to worry about? Very little.
And that's what you plug into when you do yoga and meditation. Do you do yoga and meditation, Neil? Because you sound like a really spiritual man.
I can talk the talk. I've studied all the NLP. I've read enough self-help books. I've talked to people, wonderful people like you. I've had deep spiritual discussions. And yet I've got a very intellectual sort of understanding of it. And the coach that I attend, he's always, get out of your head, get in your body, ground. Absolutely. Get in your body, ground. And he says the higher you go in consciousness, it's like bilateral, then the more grounded you've got to be. I think I know enough to be able to dismiss the myth that being spiritual is being away with the fairies and all that sort of thing. It's not that. It's quite the opposite. It's very grounded. If anything, we're all away with the fairies now when we're not connected to it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, maybe fairies is a bit nice. Maybe creatures a little less nice than fairies. I don't know, but
I think what my opinion and my training, the teaching, is that we heal ourselves, and we heal ourselves enough so that we can then serve. So it's all about
it comes back to giving from a place of overflow, doesn't it? And it comes back to of doing what you love as well. I read a couple of really good quotes. Tell me if you resonate with these, because these came from channel sources. One was you're more value to the world in the joy of your cross-stitching than the drudgery of the job you hate, or something like that. In other words, if you do something that you love to do, you're going to be the most alive and the best version of you. I love to DJ. I love to do stand-up comedy. If I've had a good performance, I come off stage feeling like $1 million, and it spreads mirth. People might have had a crap day. It brings people together. It provides opportunities for comedians. Win, 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 win. That's a kind of service, if you like. Or that's what I like.
People laugh. Talk about things I like to do. I love to laugh. That laughing is so healing.
You have to come to one of my comedy shows next time you're back in London.
Yeah, we'll do, for sure.
Hit me up on the socials. I'll sort you out with a free ticket. Thanks for being on. And the other quote is, don't look for what the world needs. look for what makes you come alive and go and do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
Yeah. So very, very similar things, I mean, I'm ex-media, so I used to work on newspapers and magazines. I used to be a picture editor because I've got a degree in photography.
Lovely.
And it was when I had my baby, well, I was freelance. So when I had my baby and they said, can you work next Thursday? And I'd be like, no, because I've just had a baby, and I didn't have any
Well,
childcare.
that's no excuse.
They stopped ringing
So
you up.
lazy, these people.
New mothers.
I know. That's no excuse.
So I had to very, very quickly pivot and think on my feet. I'd already had my yoga teacher qualification, so that's when I switched. And like at that time, anyway, whatever. But I stupidly, perhaps, carried on. I kept on going, and occasionally I catch myself and think, oh my God. I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher, so I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't have a proper job. But I've been doing this for years now and seem to be getting by, so we'll just keep
Would you ever
going.
go back?
Oh, no, I think I'm unemployable. Really. Yeah, unemployable. I don't like really people telling me what to do, which is quite funny because I spend my whole life telling people what to do as a yoga teacher.
No, you spend your whole life giving suggestion. That's the difference. Our last guest talked about that. It's not about dominating someone. It's about working with them, not it's power with rather than power over, isn't it?
Yeah, and also everybody feels really good after they've done yoga. So it's like you said, if you're a comedian, you come off stage and you've made people laugh. When I know that I've, led people through a really great class and people feel so much better in themselves than when they joined me, then I'm like, yeah, job done.
Kundalini. I've read about this. Now, Kundalini apparently is the energy stored in your root chakra. Am I right there? And
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. What's that? Are you getting in touch with it? It's the Kundalini wiggle. I've read about that. No, and it's stored at the base of your spine apparently, and it goes up through your body. I have heard stories of people having very dramatic Kundalini awakenings. I'm going to ask it outright. Is it safe?
That's what lots of people say. Yes, it is very safe. It's very safe, but you've got to be strong, physically strong. Yeah. I think people who have very, it's empowering, and anything that is empowering also has very negative connotations. People get, scared of it. But Kundalini is ultimately deeply healing. Yeah. People who are a bit nervous about sensations just need to build up their physical strength. But yeah, I mean, like I was in the first class, I was like, somebody switched the lights on, and I'm not going to say it healed my depression then and there, but it absolutely opened the door to my healing. And I stepped through,
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
I can feel your authenticity. I really can. It's just fascinating and lovely to talk to you. Thank you. I'm really glad we got that echo sorted out. I really would have not wanted to miss this conversation. Anything else you'd like to share with us? Where can people find you? Let's get a website off you.
It's really good timing because I've actually got an anti-anxiety.
Oh no! Wait a minute. I remember you saying this. I've actually prepared. Here's something. Do you remember Blue Peter? Here's what I made earlier.
Thank you.
Now, what I've done, I have simplified the link because it was like all underscores and this and that and about 200 characters long, and with the best will in the world, you could be a yogic master and you wouldn't be able to type that in. So what I've done, I've simplified it to this tiny, which is not your fault, by the way. You didn't make the link. It's just a nice little tool. tinyurl.com/Laura Anxiety.
Oh, thank you.
And that will take you to the page. Maybe you'd like to explain what people will find there.
Yeah, so I am going to do, I just think with world events and everything, like it's all got a bit hot again, hasn't it? So I'm sharing over the next 6 weeks. It's a half an hour class, and I'm just going to share what works for me. So it'll be a very, very simple practice. It's completely free, 7:30 to 8 p.m. on a Wednesday evening. We start tonight, and it'll be for the next 6 weeks. If anybody else wants to find me, Kiran Jot is my Kundalini name, and you spell it exactly like it sounds. Kiran, Kiran, Jot, J-O-T, kiranjot.com. That is my website. And also to know that I teach every morning, Monday to Friday, 45-minute classes, and beginners to yoga are completely welcome, because it's actually a really simple practice. It's not difficult. I'm a very experienced teacher, and I explain things very clearly.
I'm just going to quickly check that link. Oh, wait a minute. I have put, actually, while we're still on, don't use that link. You sent me 2 links, and I've got the one to the community, which is a subscription, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I tell you what, I'll make another link now. Explain to people what the subscription service offers. It's really reasonable. I'll say that, and I'll just make the link.
Thank you. Yeah, so I teach Monday to Friday mornings, because I'll die on that hill of get up and do some yoga and your day will be better. It is guaranteed, or your money back. So I teach Monday to Friday, 6:45 to 7:30 a.m. And then I also teach a longer class every new and full moon. So that's my morning subscription service. And I sent a link to you, Neil, for 3 months at half price. So normally it's £39 a month. So it'll be half price for 3 months once Neil gives you the link. And then
well, that's the link for that. If you want what Laura has just described there, tinyurl.com/Laura anxiety, that will take you to the subscription model that you've just described. This is me confusing the links. It's not your fault.
Right.
But it's not hard to type in. tinyurl.com/Laura anxiety. That'll take you to the subscription model with that wonderful half price offer that Kiran Jot just told us about. And I'm just going to make another link now. Bear with me. Phil, for a minute. You've been in media. There we go. I'm just going to make the link now as we talk. Hold on a second.
And then, yeah, like I said, for the next 6 weeks, starting tonight at 7:30 p.m., I'll be sharing a half-hour practice. It'll be simple movement and some breath work. Very, very simple practice. So, the great thing about doing yoga online is you do it in the privacy of your house, because even I, as a skinny, white, woman, get intimidated going into yoga studios. So you can just, yeah, of course, it's really intimidating. Got to have the right clothes and the mats, and people know what they're doing, and particularly
that's all a bit yummy mummy vibe, though, isn't it? I mean, it's not what it's
I had oh bless, he's died now. Oh, God, it's so grim. I had my Uncle Charles was an alcoholic, and he used to come and do some brickwork in my garden, and he used to talk to me about yoga. I'd love to do yoga, Laura, I really would, and I just thought, how can we get just normal everyday people doing yoga? Because
yes, because it's not. I mean, not that I've got any problem with yummy mummies, but
they are people too. Yeah.
But the point of it is, it's not about having the right company, being in the right studio, having the right mat, having the right clothes. It's about a unification of body and mind for your healing. Okay, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's someone doing brickwork in the garden or a yummy mummy in spandex. Spandex. Yeah. I just use that word. I can't believe I just used the word spandex. I'm such a child of the 80s, aren't I? Oh, God. I'm going to play on my Rubik Cube in just a moment and wear my Farahs. So if you type in tinyurl.com/free my anxiety, All right.
Uh-huh.
tinyurl.com, free my anxiety. That will take you. Yeah, we got the correct link. I've just tested it. It's a series of 6 short classes on how to keep the mind clean, lessen neurotic body issues, and call all the shattered bits of your soul back. Lean into your intuition, trust in love, and keep the faith. All in a bite-sized half-hour practice, Wednesday, 18th, 7:30, and it's free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Neil.
Thanks, Laura. It's been absolutely lovely talking to you. Thank you.
Too. Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too. What I'll do, I'll send you this footage. If you did want to use it for any shameless marketing purposes, you're very, very welcome. That sounds like you do. You've been pretty good already. And that's great. And let me know when you're back in London. I'll send you a cheeky ticket to one of our comedy nights.
Cheers, Neil. Thank you. Will do.
Good
All
afternoon.
right. Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Lovely to have you. We'll leave that up there. tinyurl.com/free my anxiety if you fancy a little bit of that. It's another midday show. Yes, I said spandex. I said spandex, didn't I? I did, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. tinyurl.com/free my anxiety. Good luck. Type that in. Might be worth attending with things going on in the world at the moment, and certainly a good thing to do, because if we can feel better about ourselves, I think all good things start from there, don't they? So thank you very much. Good afternoon. Russ and the gang back on Friday with the king of the cravat, Phil Dave, and Jonathan Baz, and Chantal Ricards, the screen queen, telling you all the good stuff to watch on TV and places like that, and Jonathan Baz doing the same in the theatre. It's been fun. Good afternoon. Thank you very much indeed. And that's another midday show done. Take care. Oh, Ian in Surbiton.